president by name, I don't think is even right.
Another thing,
but that doesn't mean you will say your mind.
Yeah, as regarding freedom of speech, in the democratic system of government, it is permitted. But the reason why we need to have those 8 speeches is just to ensure that
we do not need to have. You said the reason why we need to have.
We need to have the law that prevents people from having those 8 speeches is just to avoid chaos. Because if you're given the permission to talk the way you feel like and express your grievances, there's some certain things you will say that will hurt her, and in retaliation, it might cause chaos, and the nation will have to bear the brunt. But
I feel you can't say what you want to say if they're not doing anything right, or you think they're not doing, the people we put in positions are not doing it the way they should have done it. I don't think anything can stop you. But there's a way you pass your message. Do not let don't be frightened by hate speeches or saying the law of hate speeches and the rest. Don't be frightened by that. If they're not doing anything well, please call us and say, in this area, they failed us. They need to know what they're doing right and what they're not doing right. But watch what you say. I want you to be careful when you're putting those words. We must wrap up now. And finally, for you.
Democracy is for the people and by the people, and therefore us to really practice true democracy, the people need to be carried along, because they are the one we are in government for.
Okay, but that's it, this segment. We're going to another segment, and that is sports segment. We want to look at local sports. We'll be right back.
Super Dawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which has potent medicinal properties. Garlic is a plant in the allium onion family. It is closely related to onions, shallots, and leeks. It grows in many parts of the world and is a popular ingredient in cooking due to its strong smell and delicious taste. This compound is known as allicin and is also responsible for the distinct garlic smell. Allicin enters the body from the digestive tract and travels all over the body where it exerts its potent biological effect. Garlic is a plant in the onion family, grown for its cooking properties and health effect. Garlic supplementation is known to boost the function of the immune system. Studies shows that a daily garlic supplement reduced the number of colds by 63% compared with placebo. Cardiovascular diseases like heart attacks and strokes are the world's biggest killers. High blood pressure or hypertension is one of the most important drivers of these diseases. Human studies have found garlic supplementation.
Go-Round hosted Niger Tornadoes on match day 17 of the NPFL. The Omoku side were still in relegation trouble despite winning 2 and drawing 1 of their last 5. For Tornadoes, they haven't lost in 5 and are challenging for a continental place. But it was Go-Round who took the lead. Nelson Esso slotting home on 18 minutes after a good pass from Odinaka Onyirimba. Tornado struck back on 44 minutes. Shego Alebioshu capitalizing on the mix-up in the go-round defense to lob the goalkeeper. Go-Round earned a penalty on 58 minutes after Nelson Esso was fouled in the area. But Chileazu's spot kick cannoned off the crossbar. Neither side could find a second goal after 90 minutes, and it finished Go-Round FC 1, Niger Tornadoes 1. Abia.
Welcome back. It's sports segment, and I have OJ with me this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Nice to be here as always.
Yes. What are we going to enjoy today in this segment?
Well, the second round of the Nigerian season has kicked off because they were to go on a break, but no break during the World Cup. There will be a break for them, so they're going back. I mean, it's back-to-back business for them, and their second round of the season kicked off from over the weekend with interesting results here and there. Okay, let me allow you, so that I step behind the camera, to enjoy the segment. Thank you. Well, it's this Superscreen Sports. OJ will continue from here. Hello there, good morning. It's a wet Tuesday out there in Lagos. Interestingly, I mean, it's a time for the rains, and we just have to enjoy all that God has given to us. Thank God for the rains anyway. I know some folks are out there. My name is OJ OJ, and it's time again for the program you're enjoying you're watching on TV, Superscreen. That's MPFL today on Superscreen, the Nigerian Professional Football League. A program that gives you all you need to know about the Nigerian Professional Football League, the top stars, the table, what the teams are doing, and even our flop of the week. Don't forget, we always have our flop of the week. Matches were played weekend, March day 20 matches. Second round of the season has kicked off, and so matches were played over the weekend. Reverse, so to say, matches played March day 19. Reverse, we had them played March day 20, and of course, there were interesting results here and there. Well, for now, I'll be doing this all alone because my colleague Mike is on the way. Of course, thanks to the rains anyway, but he'll be here before we, he'll be here shortly. And so we're going to start with our top five. I've always had a top five for you, where we give you top 5 stars. Look at all the teams that have played over the weekend, how they've played, the top stars, and of course we select some of the guys who've done so well for their teams over the weekend, and that's how we arrive at the top 5 stars on the MPFL today on Superscreen, the only station that gives you that. And so we'll go straight to business. Top 5 stars on the MPFL. We're going to start with a striker who has done so well for his team, MFM. Over the weekend, his team played against Niger Tornadoes, that was MFM. The reverse game was 1-0 against MFM, but then at the Agege Township Stadium, called the Soccer's Temple now, it was something different. It was a complete annihilation of Niger Tornadoes. And of course, that's Sikiru Olatubosun scored on match day, opened the scoring for his team MFM against Niger Tornadoes, and that's Sikiru for you up there. Sikiru returned from, it was away in Switzerland, trying at FC Zurich, where his friend Stephen Ode played. He came back, scored against Rivers United, and his second home game again, Sikiru there scored against Niger Tornadoes. Before this game, Niger Tornadoes had a 9-match unbeaten run. Even they played at places like Kano Pillars and El Kanemi, difficult grounds, and even go round. You saw go round just before the program kicked off. They didn't lose out there. They came back home again, played 6 matches, but then they came to Lagos. They thought they were extended to 10 games, but it was a different story altogether. Sikiru started the annihilation, and it ended 3-0 in favor of MFM at the end of the day to end the unbeaten run of Niger Tornadoes. So Sikiru gets in our top 5 again for his performance on match day. Also in the top 5 on MPFL on Superscreen today is Yima Nwagwai. Yuma was with Kano Pillars when they played away at Heartland, struggling Heartland. Heartland scored first to get the lead, but then Kano Pillars came from behind, got a goal through Yuma Nwagwai. Lokosa, the goal scoring sensation, didn't score, but then it wasn't enough as Yuma ensured that Pillars got a point away. And for Heartland, it was the 3rd time they shared points at home with teams, and that tells you how bad this season has been for Heartland. But then for Kano Pillars, they continue to push and see if they can catch Lobby Stars. Don't forget, Lobby remain on top of the table, but then Kano Pillars trying to catch up with Lobby, playing catch up, so to say. And there was a 1-1 draw out there in Owerri, courtesy of, that was Yima were going on the screen there with Lokosa, but then Yima was the one who put his name on the score sheet at the Danayam Stadium when they played against Heartland away from home. They returned home and tried to consolidate. And also on our top 5 stars on the MPFL today on Superscreen is another MFM player, Chijioke Akuneto. Chijioke, of course, is one player who has been scoring very well for MFM since Stephen Ode left for Switzerland. He's been playing regularly. He came in as a sub, and on match day, he also ensured that his name was on the score sheet. Akuneto, who's become a goal-scoring sensation too for the team, scored for them in the continent. In fact, the first player to score an international goal at the Agege Stadium, and this first player again to score 2 goals international, because he scored in the next game they played against, out there at the Agege Stadium. And so Chijioke Akuneto gets into our top 5 stars chart. He's been doing so well for MFM, and of course ensuring that he continues to be the big name that the fans come out to watch whenever they want to see MFM play. So we're giving you Sikiru Olatubosun, MFM, Uyima Wagwai, Kano Pillars, and another MFM player, Chijoke Akuneto. This time around, we're picking a Rangers player, a goalkeeper, the only goalkeeper on this list, Femi Thomas. Femi Thomas moved from Rivers United to Rangers and has since become the #1 goalkeeper out there at Rangers, beating Nana Bonsu and his Ghanaian counterpart, Seidu Maliwa Katu. But then Femi Thomas played away at Wiki Torres. Wiki scored first. Rangers equalized through Tokwe Olusesi. And of course, one reason why Wiki didn't get another goal was the excellent performance of Femi Thomas. No surprise there. Our former junior international has been consistent. I'm invited once or twice to the national team, but then yet to break in there because of, the goalkeepers who play in Europe. But back here in Nigeria, Femi Thomas remains a big figure for Enugu Rangers. He's #1, and he was one of the reasons. He played a big role, was a big man in goal, preventing Shama Atanze and the other guys at Wiki Torres from scoring more than one. That game ended 1-1. Femi Thomas was excellent in that game, and he finds his way in our top 5 chart. Finally, on our top 5 chart today, we have Segun Alebioshu. Segun played for Kwara, moved to Niger Tornadoes, and from Niger Tornadoes again, moved to Kwara. My producer is ready. We'll show you one of the goals scored by Segun Alebioshu when he was playing for Niger Tornadoes earlier in the season. Match day 18 precisely, he scored the equalizer at go-round where they end another draw, while building their 9-match unbeaten run. He scored a goal at go-round. But then Alebioshu scored for Niger Tornadoes. He's returned to Kwara United now, wanting to strengthen the team, a homeboy again from Kwara, and that's how he returned. Again on match day against Yobe Stars, Segun returned for business for his hometown club, Kwara United, and scored 1 goal. This is a clip when Tornadoes played at go-round, and Segun Alebioshu, got 1 goal for Tornadoes. Let's enjoy this, and we'll come back.
Onyirimba. Tornado struck back on 44 minutes. Segun Alebioshu capitalizing on a mix-up in the go-round defense to lob the goalkeeper. Buran earned a penalty on 58 minutes after Nelson.
Welcome back. We talked about Segun Alebioshu's goal scoring skill, and there you saw him just lobbing the ball over the goalkeeper to get his team, his former team, Niger Tornadoes. Now he has returned to his first side, Kwara United, and he scored against Yobe Stars over the weekend. That tells you how important Segun Alebioshu is to Kwara United, and of course his former team, Niger Tornadoes. This weekend is going to be a big one anyway, because Segun will return with Kwara United this time to play against Niger Tornadoes, and that indeed will be a very big clash. We'll go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll look at the MPFL table. Lobby on top, form or lock. What has helped Lobby Stars? We'll say all that when we come back after this break. Don't go away.
Rivers had the chance to go second on the log when they hosted Nasarawa United on matchday 17 of the MPFL. The Port Harcourt side are unbeaten at home this season and have secured wins over Heartland and Aqua United in recent weeks. Visitors Nasarawa went into the tie on the back of a 2-1 defeat by MFM and have lost 3 of their last 5, and they were behind after 57 seconds. Sachima Elum with a brilliant strike to give Rivers the lead. The hosts should have doubled the lead on 13 minutes. Nasarawa then went straight down the other end and nearly had a goal of their own, but Ikechukwu Nwani's effort failed to trouble Sunday Rotimi. Issa Ndala then had a pop from range for the visitors, which went wide. It was all Nasarawa as they poured forward in search of the equalizer, but they couldn't find the breakthrough, with Abdullahi Abubakar firing an effort over on 34 minutes. And then Rivers almost doubled their lead late on, but Emeka Ogu's long-range strike came off the foot of the post.
Yeah, welcome back. That was Rivers United hosting Nasarawa United at home, match day 17. We're back on the program MPFL today on Superscreen. And we're looking at the table, the MPFL log. After match day 20, Lobby Stars remain on top of the log. For like the 9th match day now, Lobby Stars still be on top of the log. And over the weekend, it was a difficult game against Sunshine Stars. And guess what happened? It ended 1-0 in favor of Lobby Stars, but then the goal scored not by a Lobby player, but a Sunshine Stars player, Kehinde Adeyemi. Samad square played. There was a cross from Samad, and Kehinde, wanted to clear the ball, but directed the ball into his net, beating goalkeeper Moses Ocheje and captain on match day to win Lobby Stars' victory on that day. So the question is this: is Lobby performing based on form or luck, or a combination of the two? I mean, on a day when the team played so well, but couldn't get the result, they had to depend on victory, which came very funny way, came via an own goal scored by Sunshine. Sunshine pushed them. It was a hard game, but Lobby were able to contain them and eventually got it. Results on your screen there: Rivers played a goalless draw with Abia. Wiki Tories Rangers ended 1-1, and of course it was Aqua United against Enyimba. The game didn't hold because Enyimba were busy, in the continent. That game didn't hold, so the game will be rescheduled. Enyimba were playing in the CAF Confederations Cup group stage, where they beat Joliba from Mali 2-0. The competition continues for Enyimba with the match day 2 trip to Côte d'Ivoire, where they play against Williamsville. We're talking about the MPFL table. Lobby Stars are still on top of that table, courtesy of their victory over Sunshine over the weekend. It came the hard way, but then a goal is a goal. As long as the goal was considered, it was a cross from Samad Kadri, who has scored 7 goals this time for Lobby Stars, their top scorer, and of course one of the impact players they have at the club. It was a cross from him. Kehinde Adeyemi of Sunshine Stars wanted to clear the ball out, but unfortunately for Kehinde, the ball landed in his net, beating his goalkeeper, and that gave Lobby a long goal victory. So Lobby is still on top. Kano Pillars are pushing hard. But at the other end of the table, we still have Heartland, Kwara United, El Kanemi. All of them, they are struggling to avoid relegation. Well, time is not your friend when you're always having fun on a program like this, the MPFL today on Superscreen. Finally, before we go, our flop of the week, and that goes to Niger Tornadoes. They had a night game on beating run before coming to Lagos to play MFM. They went to Kano Pillars, they got a draw. They went to Ekanemi, got a draw. Go round, got a draw at home. They beat Abia Warriors 2-0 at home. Beat Rangers at home. Beat MFM at home. Even Yobe Desert Stars also beat them at home. But when it came to the big one, the 10th one, when everyone was expecting them to make it a 10-match unbeaten run, and a lot of people were at their Gege Stadium to see how these Tornadoes have been able to keep their unbeaten run, but then it turned out to be something different. It was MFM 3, Niger Tornadoes 0, a complete annihilation of the team, ended their 9-match unbeaten run. Tornadoes came without a battle. As early as the first half, it was over at a contest, clearly showing indications that MFM was going to win the game, and indeed, they won the game 3-0, all 3 goals, 2 in the first half, and of course 1 coming in the second half. That's our program today, MPFL today on Superscreen. I'm hoping you enjoyed it. Mike Shirley will be here on Thursday to join me. And of course, on Thursday, by the grace of God, let's do it again. MPFL today on Superscreen. Have a blessed Tuesday. Bye-bye.
On those states southwest of Nigeria. I'm Give George.
Struggling Sunshine Stars hosted Wiki Tourists on match day 17 of the MPFL. The Akure side were 17th on the log, having claimed just one win in 5. But they went into the tie knowing a win would take them out of the relegation zone. For Wiki, they were not exactly safe, as they were 14th on the log, but a defeat would drop them down into the bottom 4.
So it's all set now for match day 17, live on the Nigerian Television Authority. Is Sunshine Stars playing host to Wiki Tourists, of course.
Welcome back with our sports segment, the MPFL. It's always happening over the weekend where they have matches to play. And I love the local team. Why must we all be killing ourselves over foreign players?
Yes,
where we have Nigerian teams that are doing well here. We should encourage the local ones.
Yeah, we need to give them enough support. We need to give them enough support. And when we give them enough support from home here, you now find out that some of our players who are doing well, we're clamoring for playing abroad, and when they are doing that as well, they're representing us as well.
So yes, it's a platform. Big ups to the MPFL, big ups to Superscreen, because we do this every Tuesday.
Okay, we must wrap up now. From you, we need to wrap up now.
Be a good Nigerian out there. Make sure you coexist, regardless of tribal, your tribe, your culture, religion. Just understand that the next person beside you is your brother. Let's live in a democratic society. I am Anthony Osaibo.
And for me, Blessed Omonose, for us to live a true democratic system of government, you need to realize that there's a need for coexistence regardless of your tribe, regardless of your creed, regardless of your religion. Without unity, without peace, without harmony, democratic system of government will be far, far a mirage for us to practice. Blessed Omonose signing out. Let's do it tomorrow, God willing, and on the Wednesday edition of Superscreen.
Well, we don't have option. No other country like us. Nigeria has come to stay, and we must make democracy work. What you need to do is cast your vote for the right person, and if he or she is in position and is not doing what you think he needs to have done well, you can also speak up. This is the time to speak up. Well, this is all we can take for today's edition. Don't forget that you can subscribe to our YouTube channels. You can, no matter where you are in the world, you can be part of this program. You can also give us an SMS, subscribe, press the like button, and also subscribe. When you are subscribing, it's for free. The like button is for free. So let's just get that started. Tomorrow is another day, so you can be part of us tomorrow's edition of the program. Well, we have to leave now. I am Vera Osopo. We'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Keep watching Superscreen television. Until then.
Yo soy quien te busca, quien te sueña y quien te espera en cada despertar. Te tengo que encontrar para poderte amar.
Hello viewers at home, I am Buki Ogunote.
Okay, my people,
hey,
I'm
all of day here, and of course I think we can see Buki in South African kitchen.
Myro. My name is Olatayo Amokade.
Oh my God. The color in your food. You know, Africans, we don't put too much to color.
Oh yeah, I'm from Orabai. Put it from Orabai.
From Orabai.
Oh, from Orabai. All right. All not the same,
honestly, for James tried. And maybe I could be asking for his address.
I told you sincerity plus 10 make 90. So you're doing it.
Really and really, Bilal and Willie.
Yells.
What are you singing now?
I'm feeling awesome now.
Forget what I told you a couple of minutes ago.
I didn't forget. I was only verifying your story.
How on earth did I allow this to happen to me? By the way, where is Levis?
Sir, he just stepped out.
Never played the dog on me! I ask you one more time. Do you connive with some unscrupulous and mischievous people to implicate my company or not?
And what if I did?
Jesus Christ! You!
Ebele, don't listen to me. Let's go.
Oh, Doris, 1 minute. I know the financial crisis you are in right now. Which stands every possibility of you not writing this semester's examination.
What is he talking about?
Oh, she hasn't told you. I see. You're so ashamed of it. Not even telling your own friend about it. Oh, you should be praying for her, you know. So she'll be able to raise money to balance up her remaining school fee. Oh, you're surprised I know? Of course I know. I know everything that is going on in this campus. Because with money, I can get every kind of information I want. And you know what?
My children, do you love drama? Do you love dance? Would you love to learn your favorite music instrument and explore the interesting world of art? Then watch your favorite #1 kiddies program, CC Show, Creative Children's Show, on this station. Get the drama, dance, music lesson, quiz, and lots more. If you miss the show, I'll tell your mommy. Children with creative and unique talents can also be part of this program. For sponsorship, advertisement, and inquiries, call. Come on, it's all fun.
Do you remember these? It's time to relive the 90s. You never see this coming. This funny family are taking you back to the 90s with this superb new family series.
The thing when I want to do for a body, because by the time I travel go home, I get obo. If I meet am na 4 junction, I go just stand. When I jump 4 times, I no go know am again.
Uncle Daniel.
Come, Smolly. I never want you say make you knock before you enter our room.
'90s Gogoro coming soon.
How do this stop it? Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Design adult class education. We want to tutor them.
Ito àti jẹta mi ni.
Bàbá Fausa.
Báyìí lọ ka yìí. Ṣéèkì ni wọ́n ní wọ́n máa.
Bàbá àfẹ́ Igbo.
What of for house? Wà ló wọ̀ ọ́nà. Tó fọ́fọ́ wèrè ló fà púpọ̀.
Ó fò wèrè ó fò àti wèrè. Ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè kan náà jọ ni wá one.
If not, I would have evacuated you back to your father's house.
Okay,
how come I lost the election?
A landlord doesn't discriminate. Discrimination causes palaver. Palaver causes wahala. And wahala in the Agbole is very troublesome.
Your team will pay yourself to fight over.
I pray may God give me husband like that your own.
No, we lieutenant wo mo gba yo.
Come tower company. Agbolewa. Agbolewa oh. Agbolewa. Agbolewa oh. Agbolewa. Agbolewa oh.
Èmi ọkùnrin ogun mo wọ̀lú.
Ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ gangan wá rí mi ní aago 4 ẹ̀.
Ewo, ó ti sú mi, bọ́rọ̀ ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Ọkọ mi.
Lálẹ́bí, omi ta ni ọ̀pẹ̀dà.
N kòrò mi bù lódò. Ìgbà yẹn mo dódò. Bó ṣe kí agbọ̀n bàbá yìí ló ń ṣe ìṣòroṣo. Màá tún kí bọ̀, a tún ṣe ìṣòroṣo ìgbà mi tó ṣe báyìí. Kí ìgbà wọ́n bò kó tẹ̀ bú dẹ́wà.
Mo tún kẹ́, will you marry me?
Ìwọ ṣáà ti sọ pé mo ti gbọ́, kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Àrọ́bá o! Bàbá ìtàn.
Jesus, you wipe away all tears. You
Hello there, many thanks for staying tuned to Superscreen Television. This is Superscreen News Art 10, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Blessed Omonose. President Muhammadu Buhari will embark on a 4-day medical trip to the United Kingdom today. According to a statement by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the president's trip is at the instance of his doctor. In the course of the technical stopover for aircraft maintenance in London on his way back from Washington last week, the president had a meeting with his doctor. The doctor requested the president to return presidential Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the president's trip is at the instance of his doctor. In the course of the technical stopover for aircraft maintenance in London on his way back from Washington last week, the president had a meeting with his doctor. The doctor requested that the president return for a meeting, which he agreed to do. Presidential spokesman Femi Adesina had explained that the Buhari is battling with what he called persistent ear infection. Adesina had also said, although the president had been examined and treated by his personal physician and a specialist in Abuja, both doctors advised him to go for a further evaluation as a precaution. He also said the president will use the 10-day break to see an ear, nose and throat specialist in London. The presidency has confronted former President Goodluck Jonathan with instances of alleged corruption practices during his administration. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akande, gave the instances in a statement made available to journalists. Akande said in the statement is a direct reply to a report attributed to Jonathan's media office that the cases of corruption being mentioned were not true and that the government officials restating the instances were liars. A record that Vice President said $3 billion were stolen in the NNPC Strategic Alliance contracts. The three persons involved are Jide Omokre, Kola Aluko, and the former Petroleum Resources Minister, Dezani Alesi Madwike. Akande also cited the alleged diversion and theft of some in excess crude of $2.5 billion meant for the purchase of arms to prosecute the war against Boko Haram. President Muhammadu Buhari has met with President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dokara, behind closed doors. The meeting was held inside the Presidential Villa, Abuja, shortly after President Buhari returned from his weekend trip to his hometown in Dara, Katsina State. At the end of the meeting, Saraki and Dogara told reporters that they reported the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, to the President over his handling of the case involving Senator Dino Melaye and his disdain for the National Assembly.
He showed his own, that was an embarrassment to the country, and that and there will be a proper investigation in it, and because it's something that's not just about the National Assembly, it's about the country. So we talked about that.
This is a civilian administration, it's a democracy, and it is imperative and very, very important that all institutions of democracy operate within the ambit of the rule of law. There's no way, I've said it before, that the police will behave in a democracy like a clan of tribesmen, like an upgraded barbarian, sort of. So there's need for us to act with civility. We're not saying anybody should be protected or defended. Once you have committed an offense, our law says that you should answer it. But you just have to utilize the provision of the Constitution, the rule of law, which this administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has overemphasized in order to bring people to book.
The issue of impeachment process being contemplated in the National Assembly over Buhari's approval for the payment of $496 million for fighter jets before he sought the approval of the federal lawmakers was not discussed at the meeting. The Kogi State High Court sitting in Lokoja has adjourned hearing of the bail application of Senator Dino Melaye for Thursday, May 10, 2018. This followed the inability of the parties to submit their counter affidavit and better affidavits to the written bail application by Melaye's counsel when Justice Nasser Ajano ordered the lawmaker to be transferred to the National Hospital, Abuja. The prosecution, led by Alex Ezinyon, son, read a counter affidavit to the written application for bail by Mike Ozekome, son, Melaye's counsel, to which the latter had sought the court's permission to file a better affidavit to the counter affidavit by the prosecution. The federal government has been asked to sanction the leadership of the United Nations International Children's Fund, UNICEF, over the alleged suspicious plot to embolden and promote terrorism in the country. A group identified as Coalition for Peace in Nigeria made a call during a protest in Abuja questioning UNICEF leniency to allow some of its staff enlist in the club of undercover agents of foreign forces against Nigeria in disguised support for terrorism. Convener of the group alleged attempt by some international organizations who have rendered themselves to do some disgusting undercover jobs for foreign forces which are sworn to destabilize, polarize and divide Nigeria.
We demand for the immediate withdrawal of that report on our military, as it contained nothing other than baseless lies, fabrications, and unfounded and insane adverts crafted to sabotage the ongoing war on terror in the country. The UNICEF and staff finger in this aberration have 21 days ultimatum. They have 21 days ultimatum to retract repulsive report. Any thought of disregarding this ultimatum by refusal to a corresponding rebuttal of this infamous report with the stipulated time frame, we shall have no option than to return to permanently occupy UNICEF office here in Abuja and in Nigeria, until they are forced to vacate in Nigeria. No Nigeria is ready to tolerate any attempt by individual, groups or persons or organizations to prolong the pains and agony of innocent children and women in the hands of Boko Haram.
The report has, however, provoked outrage from Nigerians, especially the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations, CSOS, who have now demanded a retraction and an apology from the UNICEF to the Nigerian military and the government of Nigeria. Away from that now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has sent letters of warning to all political parties, asking them to stop campaigns. The warning was secured to activities of majority of the political parties, which is considered to be against the provisions of the law on electioneering. You will recall that the Commission had released the timetable and schedule for the 2019 general elections in January, which is said campaigns must not commence before December, which is 3 months to the commencement of the elections. However, majority of the political parties ignored the timetable and flooded the political space with campaigns. The electoral body is said to have expressed worry and therefore asked its state resident electoral commissioners to call the attention of the political parties in the states to the provision of the law guarding electoral activities. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has filed 12 charges against the immediate past governor of Plateau State, Senator Jonah Jang, for alleged fraud of 6.3 billion naira. The EFCC, which filed a case before a high court sitting in Plateau State, accused Jang of perpetrating the fraud some month to the end of his tenure as governor in 2015. Jang, who currently represents Plateau North Senatorial District, allegedly embezzled some special funds released to the state by the Central Bank of Nigeria. In one of the accounts, the former governor, among other things, is being accused of diverting 2 billion naira released by the CBN for disbursement to small and medium enterprises in the state under the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Funds, a month before the expiration of his tenure in April 2015. Jang is also said to have abused his office as the governor by collecting money to the tune of 4.3 billion naira from the state coffers through the cashier of the office of the Secretary to the State of Government, Yusuf Pam. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has shut Peace Standard Pharmaceutical Limited, Beiroj Pharmaceutical Limited and Emzo Pharmaceutical Industry Limited that were implicated in the codeine syrup crisis. The Director General of the agency, Mojisola Adeyeye, in a statement said the decision is taken following findings from the investigations and inspections at the affected companies. The statement said, due to insufficient evidence gathered and apparent resistance to provide needed documents during the inspection on May 2, 2018 at the respective companies in Ilari and Lagos, respectively, it has become necessary to sort all the product lines of the three companies. The National Drug and Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Edo Command, said It has arrested 41 persons for allegedly trafficking illicit drugs in the state in April. The Assistant Commander and Head Operations and Intelligence of the Command, Peter Oga, disclosed this to journalists. Oga said the suspects, including a distributor of codeine, were arrested for drug offenses ranging from possessions, peddling, and consumption in various parts of the state. Oga said that 4 farms where substance suspected to be cannabis sativa were being cultivated were also destroyed within the period. National Enforcement Coordinator of the Cooperate Society of Nigeria in Edo and Delta State, Abiodun Ogwaklide, says the time has come for every intellectual property owner to enjoy their creative work like the Western world. Abiodun lamented the lack of stringent laws guarding every creative act in Nigeria, describing it as a big problem that affects the intellectual world.
They have made a lot of names, but no money. The reason for that is that the intellectual property is not protected. Somebody like Michael Jackson, his estate is even making more money at his death than when he was alive. I keep comparing this jurisdiction and foreign jurisdiction.
He also assured on Coulson's commitment to ensure musicians make a good return on investments.
If you're a musician and you have created or sung a song, produced a song, nobody can use that work without your permission. Whether it's in trademark, whether it's in patent. Yes, the first one, look, if you create a design for your product today, nobody will use that design.
You will recall that Coulson, as a body, is yet to fully reconcile its leadership issues at the national front. You're watching Superscreen News R10. We take a short break at this point, and when we return, we'll bring you business news. Please stay. Welcome back, and now to the world of business. National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) says total credit from banks to the economic recorded a decline of 135.8 billion naira from 15.7 trillion naira at the end of the fourth quarter of last year to 15.6 trillion naira in the first 3 months of 2018. This is contained in the banking sector report released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The NBS said the total number of staff members in banks decreased by 0.93% from 90,453 in the fourth quarter of 2017 to 89,608 in the first quarter of this year. According to the report, data from the electronic payment channels in the Nigerian banking sector revealed that automated teller machines transactions dominated the volume of transactions during the period. NBS said in the first quarter of this year, the sector recorded a total volume of 406 transactions valued at 32.48 trillion naira. 16th Brigadier of the Nigerian Army, Yenogwa, and the Bayelsa State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, have clashed over seizure of 2 tankers conveying petrol. The NSCDC had impounded the trucks along the Ogba-Nembe Road and was taking them to its command headquarters when soldiers of the 16th Brigade intercepted them and took the trucks to their base in Yenogwa, the state capital. The soldiers, who outnumbered the NSCDC personnel, took possession of the trucks and forced the civil defense operative to take to their heels during a clash that ensued. While officials of the NSCDC maintained that it is either mandate under the law to handle oil theft and check diversion of petroleum products, the soldiers claimed that the NSCDC's operation is suspicious. The spokesman for the 16th Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Major Major Danjuma said the army intercepted the trucks under suspicious circumstances as the community members and the NSCDC were engaged in bitter arguments when the soldiers arrived. And still talking business, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Director General Dakoko Peterside says regional cooperation is key to the safety and security of inbound and outbound goods and services to Africa through the seas. According to a statement by the agency on Peterside, says this on the sidelines of the Offshore Technology Conference in Houston, Texas, United States of America. The NIMASA DG, who was represented by the agency Executive Director Operations, Rotimi Fashakin, reporters spoke at the technical workshop on prospects, challenges and opportunities for regional collaboration during the OTS conference. The oil and gas industry needs the maritime sector, particularly shipping, which is internationally in nature, for it to thrive. Pesticide assured the select international stakeholders, of a renewed effort to enhance safety and security in the Gulf of Guinea based on sustainable regional cooperation. The Federal High Court of Nigeria will hear a case to compel the Nigerian government to take back one of Nigeria's most lucrative oil blocks, which has been at the center of $1.1 billion multinational corporation scandal on Tuesday. The case is brought by Nigerian civil society organization, Human Environmental Development Agenda, HIDA, who are demanding that the government revoke the Operating Production License, OPL, on grounds that the entire Malabu transaction is unconstitutional, illegal and void as it is not legally granted. The motion filed by HIDA at the Federal High Court of Nigeria requires the Nigerian Attorney General to appear on May the 8th. The Lagos State government says it has planned to redevelop about 100 slum resettlements across the state to make them more habitable. Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Rotimi Ogunaya, who disclosed these at the 2018 ministerial press briefing, said the Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency is working towards the regeneration and urbanization of the state into a befitting megacity that is livable and economically buoyant. Ogunleye said this would also help to prevent building collapse as well as reduce blight in the state. According to him, the public-private partnership approach instead of direct government funding has been adopted to achieve the slum renewal. If you're just joining us, this is Superscreen News at 10. We'll take another short break, and when we return, we'll bring you foreign and sport update. Please stay.